It's been 2 days since the Old Firm defeat to Celtic, and as always, there is so much within the fallout. In today's video, we'll discuss some of it whilst going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours, which includes a Rangers expert giving his thoughts on Billy Gilmour potentially returning this summer. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Michael Stewart insists Alfredo Morelos' goal against Celtic should have stood, but can understand why Kevin Glancy didn't allow it. The score was still goalless during Sunday's Old Firm clash at Parkhead when the Colombian international thought he'd given Rangers the lead after beating Alistair Johnston to the ball from a corner. However, referee Clancy then disallowed the goal and awarded a free kick to Ange Postecoglou's side for a foul on the Canadian international defender. VAR subsequently looked back at the incident but ultimately supported the official's decision. During the game and afterwards, pundits blasted the decision not to allow Morelos' goal to stand, while it was later revealed that Rangers themselves would write to the SFA to demand an explanation on the matter. Celtic ultimately went on to claim a 3-2 victory over Rangers, to increase their lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership table to 12 points. Looking back at the incident on yesterday's edition of Sports Scene, former Hearts player Michael Stewart insisted that the goal should have stood, but admitted he could see why Clancy made the decision he did. He said, "For me, quite simply, it wasn't a foul. It should have been a goal. But I can understand why Kevin Glancy gave the free kick, because from his angle it looked as though Alfredo Morelos' arm is extended and he gives Alistair Johnston a shove. For me, he's just trying to shake him off. He's trying to get rid of him." And then you say, well, VAR is there to go and have a look at, and whether there has been a clear and obvious mistake that has been made. I'm not sure VAR is looking at it and then would say that the ref made a clear and obvious mistake, because as I said, from his angle it looked like there could have been a foul. If you had been looking at an individual observer, I don't think it is a foul. I think the goal should have stood. It's a bitter pill to swallow for Rangers, because at this stage, if you get a goal away from home, it is a massive moment. Instead, they've come away without anything from the game. Just a quick one before we get back into the video, guys. We've released our brand new merchandise. We've got our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts, along with our Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Neil McCann has claimed that the game has gone after that decision to disallow Morelos' goal. He said, "You can see Alistair Johnston has got a grip of Morelos' jersey, pulling it. That's a big grab of the jersey. Greg Taylor's just pinning and behugging Ryan Jack in front of the goalkeeper. If the referee can't see that, that's what VAR should come in and say. We've noticed something, come and have a look. We've seen penalties given for that. As a footballer, I don't mind that. That goes to the box, and I'm not saying that's a penalty. But the one that's disallowed, I know you're saying it's a push and there's contact between Alistair Johnston misjudged it and got ahead to fight the ball. He knows he can't get there and goes down. Clancy should have been asked to come across and look at that. I think VAR should have had a look and see what you think. I think if you're giving away free kicks for that, the game's gone." Chris Sutton has hit back to Todd Cantwell after the Rangers midfielder claimed that Celtic didn't win yesterday's derby showdown. Reflecting on the game on Instagram, Cantwell called out defensive errors as he offered a controversial take on the fixture. He wrote, "The disappointment is real. We lost the game, they didn't win it. We continue to stick together and build in the right direction. This is a project and an exciting one. Stick together as one." The comments clearly had Chris Sutton in stitches, as he responded on Twitter with a row of laughing emojis. He said Celtic scored 3, Todd, Rangers scored 2, so Celtic won and Rangers lost. Alan Hutton is worried Billy Gilmour may view a return to Rangers as a step back in his career. Speaking to Football Insider, the former Rangers defender didn't rule out Gilmour's return to Ibrox, but insisted his next move is very important. The 21-year-old began his career at Rangers before joining Chelsea in 2017, where he endured a difficult few seasons in the senior squad and eventually left for Brighton last summer. The Scotland international has made 10 appearances for the Seagulls this season and has played just 161 minutes of the Premier League football across 7 appearances. His lack of game time at the Amex has also impacted his international career. Gilmour has been a regular for Steve Clarke and has featured regularly for Scotland, but was an unused substitute in their recent European qualifiers. We did also report recently that Gilmour is likely to leave Brighton on loan at least this season, and Rangers are of course a team that have been linked to sign him. When asked if he could see Gilmour returning to Rangers eventually, Hutton said, "You never know. I think the money situation is going to determine that. There is no getting away from the fact that he is a Rangers boy and it'll be nice to see him back." Does he not see that as a step back in his career? Only he can answer that. He came through at Chelsea, went to Brighton, and he's not quite worked out there. He's still very young and very talented and has a lot to give. I think his next move is very important for him to go somewhere and get regular football so he can get back to the player we all know that he is. Hutton also spoke on the future of Scott Wright and claimed that the winger does not have a future at the club. He said, "I think you'd have to wait and weigh up your options. Obviously, there is an opportunity to possibly go down south somewhere, the Championship or whatever. That could be a good move for him. I do feel sorry for him in a way. He hasn't had enough opportunities in this Rangers side. It's not like he's been given minutes. In flashes, we have seen what he is capable of, but I have to see it more. The attributes he's got, I think he could do a lot more than we have seen from him. I know when he comes down to playing week in and week out, he needs a run of games. I just do not see his future at this club at this moment in time. Pre-season will be a big one. Can he push to get in? If not, he maybe has to look elsewhere." The 25-year-old will have 2 years left on his Ibrox contract at the end of the season after joining Aberdeen in 2021. In other news, to back up the whole Alfredo Morelos goal incident in the Old Firm derby, Sky Sports now have a segment called Ref Watch, where a former Premier League referee gives his opinion on decisions or controversial decisions across the weekend. Obviously, Dermot Gallagher took a look at the incident involving Alfredo Morelos and said that Celtic got very lucky. He then added, "I think Celtic are very, very, very lucky. Both players are grappling, so for me, it's best to let it go. Celtic just got seriously lucky." Stephen Warnick then added on Sky Sports News, "It's a physical game. There isn't enough to rule the goal out. It's two players josting for a position and another poor refereeing decision." So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the verdict from former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. Rangers fans, what are your thoughts on the whole Billy Gilmour situation? And do you think he'll ever re-sign? And if so, will it be this summer? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we have released our brand new Rangers merchandise. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description to browse the collection. Also, a lot of people have been asking me where I have been in terms of my live streaming. I'll be returning back to live streaming come April the 21st. And as I say, we'll be covering every single Rangers game on this channel going forward, especially going into the new season. If you want to help as well, support the channel by becoming a member, and when live streams do return, you can flex that you are a member within the live chat. As I said, it really does help out the channel. Do press the join button, it is next to the subscribe button. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, peace.